Welcome to Adventures of the Forgotten Realms draft with Simon. The rare is probably not great. You need a dragon, and at what point you could probably cast it. This card seems fine, but if you miss, it's not so great. I kind of like this card. It is 2 colors, but it's a very powerful effect. And I don't really see anything else here that's awesome. I think this card is probably playable too, but I'm gonna go for the gold card here. It's a little committing, but I think it's a very powerful one. Wish is not a great card in limited because you still have to pay the cost, so it's just you look at your graveyard basically, and you get cyber and take the best card, but you probably just put that in the main deck. This card seems fine. It's a 2-1 which is okay. It ends the battle tapped, but then you get it back if you get through the whole dungeon, which may or may not do. Alright, else there's not much, I guess. We have another shot at this. I mean, a 2/2 Death Touch for free is fine. If you ever hit, you get some value. And this card could also be playable, I guess. I like this card. It's also a little bit of a combo with this, because you can pay to make this unblockable and then venture into the dungeon every turn, which, I mean, could be good. Oh, speaking of entering the dungeon, I don't know how much this format supports 3 colors, but that seems like an interesting combo. This card seems also pretty good, especially with the Cradle of Baldur's Gate. Again, this card, it's situational, I think. This one is 2. I'll take the Soul Knife Spy as a nice combo with Creature. It's also a fine card in its own. This card is usually a 2/2 now they upgrade it to 3, and I think blue-black has a theme of giving creatures unblockable. So interesting start. I'm doing this on Magic Online for recording purposes. Seems like when I do Arena it just crashes. So I actually did a draft earlier. Went pretty well. I went 7-2, and I had a red Mythic Dragon that won me a lot of games. But the recording kind of crashed. Interesting. So it's like an Agonizing Remorse. That seems like a playable card. Again, one of these. I think Shocking Grasp is actually pretty good. -2/-, or draw a card. It can be a 2-for-1. There's also Owlbear, which is insane. I don't think this card is good. Seems okay. Kind of want to take the Owlbear. I just think that card is busted, but I would have to give up a lot of my cards. I guess Shocking Grasp could be pretty good. Oh, Charm Sleep is good. Let's see here. Nah, seems kind of weak. Yeah. I think I want Charm Sleep. That card was good in Throne of Eldraine. So yeah, looking to be a blue-black deck that profits from hitting the opponent with some cards, and of course gonna have black removal spells and blue good cards. That seems weak, even if you hit the 20. If I take this now, it's just an early card and you can get it back. Basically, some of my cards work good in the late game, and then it's nice to have a 1-mana card. Yeah, it ends better with tapped, but you can block with it and then maybe get it back. Blue Dragon. 5/5 flyer for 7. Seems okay, actually. There isn't much else here, and I think I like this as a top end. It's gonna make your opponent almost be impossible to attack, and then it's a 5/5 flyer for 7, so seems like a decent finisher. May get some cards that make treasures too, that will help power it out. Okay, so now we had weak. This card could be good though. It's like a, what's it called? A card from M Corsa 2021. Roaming Ghostlight. I think it's a little worse, but you do get some better stats, to be fair. And yeah. Okay, I guess I just take the rare, might be worth a lot later. We are in pre-release season after all, same thing here. Not giving up much, and I think you have to do these rare drafts late in a pack too. Because in the pre-release season the cards are worth a lot. I haven't even checked. Alright, not playing any of these cards, but it's a funny card. Guess this card is most likely to be played. Alright, take the blue card now. Yeah. On the well. So I would like some more cards that make me venture into the dungeon, because right now I have this, which is a good combo with this card, of course, but pretty unreliable. Because if I don't have this card, then my opponent can just block this. I mean, I still think this card is okay because it's a 2/2 Death Touch for free. We had this card before without abilities and it was fine. It also is nice to have a ground blocker that blocks anything and then some flyers. Can go over the top. Alright. Yeah, I mean, I think that card is playable. Mind Rots have been pretty good lately, and maybe this format they are too. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Hand of Vecna. Interesting. It seems bad. So is this card good? It's like a Imperial Armor. It's pretty good with my cards I have. I think it's good. You can also like start in the late, can start piling up cards in your hand that you don't use. I don't think any of the other cards are good, so I'll take this and try it out. It may not be good, but let's see. Yeah, I guess this is fine because it is anticipate on level 2 and you can get some value, but is there anything better here? Alternatively, I can take on another one of these and then I can prioritize making a card unblockable, maybe. Card is good, but I'm not necessarily there yet. So it's either this or this. I think this card is just okay. It's like an anticipate, but it's the other abilities doesn't do that much. So I like another blade. And hire the Hexblade. So it's a 2/2 for 2 that if you pay treasure you get to draw a card. That's very good if you have treasures, which I don't have. Just a big dork. Bar the Gate. I think Charm Sleep number 2 is going to be good. We are getting glutted on the free drop slot, but okay. Weak, I think. I guess I'll take Hired Hexblade now. Okay. And I have 8 creatures, so I think a card like Fate's Reversal could be okay. Another blue dragon, Wizard Class. So this one is a divination for 4, and then at level 3 you get to put counters on creatures you control. Now this one I like more because this one actually does something in the late game that's reliable, which means that every turn you get to put a counter on a creature. That seems very good. And it's like a Witching Well in some sense, like it's draw 2, Witching Well you had to pay 4. So I like that card. I think it's a little better than Vampire Sperm, which also decent. Maximum hand size doesn't matter, but I like this card. Return half the creatures. Yeah, probably not. Oh, a free flyer for 4 that you get some value. I'm in for that. Wow, it's also my first 4 drop, but yeah. If this didn't have flying, I would not be in, but if a free flyer for 4 that scries one, that's just great. And I think Augury Raven was weaker than we thought, but this is a different format. Maybe this is a format where a free flyer for 4 is good. So works nice with this, I guess. I like the fact that on turn 3 you can just play it and equip for a bunch of life if you're ahead. This card seems much weaker than the others. But I guess it's either that or Baleful Beholder. Take the Beholder, maybe my opponent has some enchantments I want to kill. Yeah, this deck is a little weak, but can get there in the late game maybe. But certainly it needs some help. I would like one more of these. Of course they're not good in multiples because legendary, but yeah. Alright, I like Soul Knight Spy. Now I have enough free drops. I think I may not play anymore, or I may cut. Maybe I cut this at some point. Okay, we're back, and let's see here. I may cut this, but I'm more interested in cutting 3 drops at this point. Yeah. Take it mostly because it's a black card. And still don't like that card. I like this card. I mean, the fact that in the late game you get to put a counter every turn, it's huge. Oh. I think that card is worth a decent amount. Let me check. Yeah, the card's worth a lot, and of course, if this wasn't here, I would take this place at least, probably. But yeah, especially during release week. This card is, I think, completely busted too in Constructed. Or not busted, but it's very good. And of course it's great in Limited, but I'm not white, sadly. Again, the things you have to do in release week. Okay. This was a weak pack. I think I like this card. I mean, it's a cheap card that blocks, which I could use. I mean, I have some amount of flyers, but then the ability you can use when in the late game it doesn't do anything, and then makes me another more reliable way to get into the dungeon. So, like that. I would like some removal. I don't really have. I mean, I have Charmed Sleep, but there might be some annoying card that I really want to get off the board, like something that with a static ability. So, the Charmed Sleeps are good, but I would like there is a common black card. 2 black destroys a creature, make a treasure. That would be great. Sorry, it would also help me cast Blue Dragon. Okay. No, I didn't want more free drops, but there is a good one here. Vampire Spawn. Also could be fine. The card is decent, but I don't have that much to sacrifice. Zombie Ogre is interesting too, but well, not that aggressive. Yes, don't have any way to splash. This is kind of nice in that if you play it, it's gonna be very reliable to be able to block. And I have so many free drops. Yeah, I guess I'll take that. It's just nice to have a reliable blocker, I guess. Okay, decent. I like the Air Cult Elemental here. Some of these picks are because I have so many free drops. Oh, here it is, the card I was talking about. Perfect. It's a removal spell that's reliable and it ramps me, so nice. Nice, nice, nice. So now... Yeah, I don't have enough ways to make things unblockable, unfortunately. I guess this card could be fine. Also Zombie Ogre. Yeah, Zombie Ogre might be better. So now I have 23 cards. I have 15 creatures, which is good. It's just a Grey Ogre. probably. Alright. No, I'm gonna take this. It's a fine card. It's not great, but it's again a 2-drop and something to do on the late game. And Bard again. Can now cut something, probably this. I think this deck is mediocre, but we might get there. Ooh, Vampire Spawn. Okay. Better than the Beholder, I think. So I think this deck is gonna do nice in the late game, but we may not get there. This card is sort of nice to stabilize it because it bounces a big thing and then blocks everything for 5. And if you can stabilize it, is a flyer that can get in there. So I kind of like having 2 of these, but yes, I'm skeptical about this deck for some reason. I can't really explain why. This card is not the worst in the world. But, oh. Okay, so let's see. So I think this deck is a little mediocre, but I like the fact that it has late game things to do with the wizard class, some flyers and equipment. Yeah, it can do some things. So I think 9/8 is good. Add this flavor basics. Alright, we are shipping this one. Okay, I keep this and I think I put this blue dragon on the bottom. Could put a swamp, but yeah. Okay. Probably gonna leave with the Hexblade. Okay, so this sacrifice to either deal 5 damage to a creature or get a treasure too. Okay. Well, I'm gonna play this as bait. You don't need to play this on turn 2. You can play it later. This is 5 to sacrifice, yes. Yeah, I will block. Don't want you having any treasures for no reason. And, wow, this card is sick. Okay. Wow, okay. Yeah, well. So now, okay, it's aggressive, but I guess it's gonna work out because my opponent rolled, so got another treasure. It seemed aggressive though, but it worked out. Okay, let's see here. Oh, get scry free. Bottom, and actually top now that I'm just gonna chill. ugly card. Okay, so that gains 3 life and you can sack it to... Oh yeah, it cycles and you draw. Okay. It's like a Revitalize basically. But oh. Wow. Okay. Guess I have to start being a little bit more aggressive then. Not crazy aggressive, but this card's gonna beat me in the long run. I mean, it is painful to do it. Okay, I guess works nice with the potion. Now, if my opponent kills any of my stuff, I don't have much going on. But we'll see. Okay, that's not a kill spell, but it is a good card, I think. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is attack with these. Get to draw a card. So now I deal 6 and I get to draw a card. Of course I drew crap, but whatever. Now, the nice thing about this card is that it kind of stops this in a way, because I can still pay to make something unblockable even if my opponent taps another thing. So if my opponent taps this, I can still make like this unblockable. Okay, a life and a card. Good card, good card. But my opponent is drawing a lot of cards, but he's down to 6 now, so... Okay. So go to combat. Won't probably tap something, but I can still attack, and let's actually attack with this. And my opponent takes 5 in total. I get to, yeah, keep that. And no more card draw for you, at least not from this. I guess my opponent could gain life. Seems unlikely. Okay. So let's go to combat, see what happens. And making this unblockable seems enticing. It's a sword free. Okay. Yep. Okay, so my opponent goes to 2 and sharp blocks. It's fine. Okay, so what do I have in my sideboard? Not much. Maybe this. I don't know. Let's see here. Okay. The old equipment defender combo. Cleric class. Interesting. But I still think this equipment's gonna be good at some point. Okay, so 1 free. Can't get through. So now let's see here. Okay, interesting. What do I lead with? I think I lead with the blade. Okay. So next time I could go hand and equip. It's kind of painful though. But my bot is not doing much. And that would also mean I get to get it out of range of that thing. Oh, I have a what? Oh yeah, the beginning of combat. Oh yeah. It's not always. But... Okay, so do I want the scry one or do I want? I think I kind of want the one that makes tokens. I don't want that. I think I like that because next level is make a token, and token is nice with the equipment. I don't need a land, even though it would help me with the blue dragon. So the reason I do this is because A, I can make 1/1 goblin, works nice with the equipment, or B, I can make a treasure to power out the blue dragon. Yeah. So I guess this is not out of range of this, so that was kind of a little bit of a mistake then. But no treasure this time though. Oh well. Okay, so I think I like playing zombie ogre. I don't need to equip now. Okay. Because I may use mana to equip next turn. This card hasn't done anything right now. Okay. Interesting. Guess I'll go equip. Attack. Oh, blocks. Okay. And okay. This card was pretty sick this game. Okay, so 2 counters, I guess. That's pretty nice. But I can just kill that, hopefully. Grim Bounty. Unless there is some trick. So now I'm gonna get to venture into the dungeon too. Don't mind if I do. Okay. And I think it is worth it to play this, because I get to draw a card. Yeah, that's what I thought. Playing the land, even though it weakens. So let's see here. 1/1 goblin or a treasure. I guess I like treasure here. So that I can cast my blue dragon next turn. Sure. I'm just gonna bounce that and win, I think. This card seems kind of weak, honestly. I mean, I get that opponent gets to do some stuff, but so slow. No, wait, I should play this. No mercy. Attack with all, and opponent could go to 1 here, I guess, but that doesn't matter because I get to Dark Pool. Wait, what? Okay, I thought my... Wait. Okay, I thought my opponent was at 1. Oh well. Okay, so we got round number 1. Let's keep trucking along. I'm still a little tilted. My first recording got shafted because it was a pretty good deck. And some really good games too. But it is what it is. Alright, weird hand here in the sense that I have early play and late play, but red-white equipments. You have hexproof. Each opponent can't venture into the dungeon more than once each turn. Okay. Guess I'm glad I'm not playing with the Mind Rot then. Because my Mind Rot couldn't be cast right. My opponent has hexproof. And me not venturing into the dungeon more than once is probably not a big deal. Okay. So the fact that this doesn't equip... The fact that the creature doesn't have the bonus on my opponent, so I mean I'm probably going to be less aggressive about equipping. Cloister Gargoyle. Okay, that's scary. It means that my opponent gets into the dungeon. Another thing I have to think about is this might mess up some of my dungeons because some of them target. Okay, so my opponent goes for this one. Okay. Right. So I think actually I'm gonna play this and equip. It's gonna cost me 5, but I'm gonna get some value back by the ability. On the other hand, I could not do it and then just chill. So we both take 5. I get this ability. Or I think it's not worth it. The reason is that I take 7 total, 2 plus 5. My opponent takes 7. I gain 1, but I don't know, I don't think it's worth it. Okay, well, kind of happy I didn't now, because my opponent could have still killed it. So let's cast this. I could go Fate's Reversal too, but I don't think that's good enough. And I'm certainly not gonna equip now. I could have kept that and then equipped and played it, I guess, but I kind of want to play this next turn. Okay, well, block. Do your worst. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's a trade. And my opponent has a bad equipment now. Okay, that's not bad. I'm still gonna go for this though. But having ward plus equipment is nice. Okay, land is good. Okay, ward is pretty good against that. Okay, so now let's do this. Do this before combat. Just take more. My opponent's gonna need something good to get out of this, because right now this costs 5 for the ward guy. That's just not tenable in the long run to spend 5, even if... So ideally my opponent needs some cheap way to get rid of this, and then this can start nullifying the equipment. But at that point I can maybe do that some other stuff. This card looking silly right now, of course. Okay, 3/4 venture into the dungeon, okay. Now I may go, if I draw a land, I may go Face Reversal this and then make this unblockable. No, my opponent has a blocker. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna do that. It's not gonna be for much, but so play a land, I Fate Reversal that. I think that's better than doing it on the fly. Get to venture. The question is, what do I do? This is now gone, so I could venture more, but so I could. This is not good. This card looks interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this. That seems bad. So now I can attack for 6. So now 5 mana. Oh, that's a good one. But it's not over yet. This blue dragon might be good. Though this card is annoying. Okay, let's start by going to combat. That's not gonna work. Not that it matters a ton, but doesn't have trap. Yeah, kind of expected it. And now I'm gonna play the blue dragon. It's gonna get tapped, but at least it's gonna. Okay, well, I guess my opponent was in some deep trouble because I have two big threats, and my opponent can't really deal with both. So this, I guess, deals with portable hole. Yeah, maybe that's good. Second move zombie ogre and seems better to play this. Alright, seems interesting. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think I may want to lower my curve a little bit. Just so I don't get run over. Yeah, I guess this is fine. It's not great, but the creatures, all my 3 creatures in my hand have good abilities. No, all my 4 creatures have good abilities. Drain, ward, bounce, kill an enchantment. That's a scary card. Alright. Okay. Oh, where were you last turn? Oh no. Okay, so it's just a 3/2 vigilance. Just a 3/2 vigilance. But it can make your creatures face out, I guess. Okay. Interesting. So it gets a counter, and my opponent gets a venture into the dungeon. Okay, some value. Scry 1. Now, if this gets an equipment, things can get bad for me. I'm gonna block though. I could not block and try to double block it next turn, but kind of wanted to get out of combat trick. Okay, that was not a bad one either. It was actually a pretty good one. And this hired Hexblade though, kind of bad. So this is either must pump or 5 to an attacking creature. Okay. No enchantments yet. Oh, there we go, an enchantment. Now the bad thing about that is that I get... Oh, okay, interesting. It's kind of weird. I'm gonna block that because I'd rather my opponent put an equipment on that than the other one. Strange choice though. But I can get rid of that. Let's just cast the ward guy though. Wow, really? Okay, well. Creatures, wait, what? Okay, let's see. So, kind of like this. Oh, this is an artifact. Okay. That's weird. Well, I'm stupid, am I not? Okay, well, it's still a 6/5 for 6, so it's not horrible, but that was still stupid. Yep. Ah, I was hoping for a spell. Play my land because I have that wizard thing. Okay. The wizard class, I mean. Okay. I was hoping my opponent didn't have a creature there. That card does nothing here. So close to winning. No, I'm not actually. Well. Okay, I can't attack here, sadly. Alright, we're dead. We are dead. Okay, so maybe not play that 6/5 then. It's still fine, but maybe it's fine still. Alright, I guess this is fine. Might be a game where I activate this, we'll see. Because I have nothing else to do really, and I have a card that makes a treasure. So I guess as soon as I hit 6 I'm gonna use this. Yeah, opponent mulligan, which kind of what I need here. Of course there's probably a million removal spells for this, but okay. Alright, I'm just gonna do this. Mostly it's curve purposes. The thing is that I already have another removal spell and a bounce spell, so I just wanna tempo. I don't really wanna block with this, I wanna use this. Okay, I'm actually not gonna attack. The reason is I saw that deal 5 card and this card. And also that, I guess. This is sorcery. But I did see, and it doesn't matter, this doesn't work against Charmed Sleep, which is funny. Okay, well, I guess I don't even have a choice to block. Okay, man, I really needed this card to still be in play. Okay, I'm probably just gonna kill that. I could also bounce it for one turn, play a little bit of tempo game. I could also attack and try and get it. No, because if my opponent double blocks, I'm in trouble. pawns. Can play a tempo game here maybe. We'll see. Opponent did not play a land last turn. Or maybe it was the turn before. It's fun that this doesn't work against Charmed Sleep. It doesn't even untap it. Okay, so I was afraid of a removal spell. That would have been kind of bad, but now I think we are in good shape. Of course, I would have liked to draw a land there, but... Oh well, definitely attacking here. I'm the aggressor here because I have nothing in my hand, basically, and my opponent has 5 spells in hand. Maybe 4, if it's a land. And I have no late game going on right now. Okay, so I got there with aggression, which is weird, but that's the thing about limited. Even blue-black mid-range decks can sometimes be on the offensive. Okay, we're here for the finals. Sure. And not the best hand ever, but I have some things going on. Okay, that was a card I was thinking about taking, so it means every time an equipped creature attacks, you get to drain for 2, and then it also gains Death Touch. So it's gonna entice trades, but okay, that was good draw. Now I can trade or entice my opponent not to attack. But since my opponent gets a treasure, I mean, I could give my opponent a treasure and then venture into the dungeon, but I think my opponent really wants a treasure here, so I think I like blocking. Okay. That was not a good draw, but whatever. Okay. Not one of these, huh? Okay. Interesting. Five. Okay, my opponent gets a treasure here. Okay, I could play that, or I could play Charmed Sleep. Like that. Okay, that's a problem. Okay, so let's see here. Cost this. Still pretty bad shape. I think I have to jump now. Okay, so I can play blue dragon. This card is just wrecking me though, I can't do much. Yeah, I'm just dead. I can't beat that card in the long run. I'm too far behind here, so it's okay. And these are artifacts, so the 6-star doesn't do much. And, yes, this card could be decent. Bouncing something could be good. Zombie ogre kind of sucks anyway. Let's try this and see if I can do something. And just got wrecked by those equipments. I mean, if I get to a little bit of a faster start, like for example with this, I could make it so my opponent's equipments become clunky. Sadly I can't keep this. I have to keep this and probably have to put the 6-drop on the bottom. But I mean, this deck isn't very good, so I can't really say I expected to go 3-0, but yeah, I mean, yes, that card is pretty decent with the equipments, but it's still not a pretty weak card, I think. Probably just gonna block here. I mean, I'm not a dungeon deck per se, so okay, interesting. Could get a nice 2-for-1 here, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Well, I got my card back, but the price was that I have to skip a turn. But I could have drawn a 2-drop maybe. Alright. Yeah, I think I should stay back here. Scry 1, that goes to the bottom. And I don't think it's worth to attack, because if my opponent does something to my 3, if my opponent gets 2 treasures, that's just a disaster. And again, it's not like it's not like me entering the dungeon is that important. It's nice, but I think I need to keep this back. It's a nice card. All right. Goes for the safe option, I think you can call this. And this again. Okay. The equipment is really good against my deck. It's the fortunate part. I think I like... No, I think I need to start attacking here. I think... What do you choose this? Put that on the top so I can cast the Air Cult Elemental next turn. Basically, I can't have this game go for too long now because my opponent has this equipment. and is in the dungeon. So if I play a super long game just trying to win with this, it's not gonna work. Yeah, this is a little risky because now if my opponent kills this, it gets 2 treasures, but at the same time I need to start doing things, and the treasure is actually kind of nice because it could enable me to play a blue dragon. Okay. Okay, so now, see here. Cast the Air Cult Elemental. Bounce that. And get to attack. And force either a jump or 1 step closer into dungeon. Okay. Let's go see. A counter, drain, or -4. Drain is nice. I kind of like a counter too. Why can't I? Oh, okay. Okay, I guess I should go in there. I was one step down. That makes sense. Now, the way my opponent gets out of this is removal spells, because flying blockers doesn't cut it with 2 removal spells. So, also if my opponent turbos the dungeon, I can kill this. So, kind of, if my opponent attacks, I think I might just jump block. I don't want to lose my 2/5 flyer. And giving my opponent a treasure could also be kind of annoying. So I think if my opponent attacks with the 3/4, I should probably just jump. But my opponent is in the tank. Okay, so the card I was afraid of was a removal spell here. That was unfortunate. Okay. Let's see. So I could Charmed Sleep or Grim Bounty. I kind of like Charmed Sleep here. And saving my last removal spell, but okay, my opponent just conceded, fine. So my opponent has a bunch of the 1/3s, the equipment. This card is interesting because it could like mess up a big equipped creature. It just flashes in and kills it. Yeah. Alright, I guess this is fine. Yeah, I guess this is fine. It's only blue, but I don't have only blue cards. It is a hand that can play a late game, that's for sure. Okay. Let's hope my opponent does not have the Death Touch equipment, which my opponent could have played turn 1, so presumably. Okay, that's also not that annoying because I have a 2/1 blocker. Also now my opponent's gonna be a little wary of attacks, I guess, with this. Got a 1-drop, a 2-drop, a 3-drop. Sadly this is 5. Okay, that's good. The gold legend would be great here, by the way. Okay. All these cards are cards I can beat, though. I mean, this is the most annoying. Okay, that's not bad. That actually means I get something to do. And this is sorcery speed, so I have to do it now. And that was a pretty good draw. Of course I drew 2 lands, but that's okay. So now I'm not losing the long game necessarily, because I have this and cards to play, and even I have this. So the way I lose now is, well, I don't know. I think I'm gonna put my defenses up for the moment. I could level up the wizard class, but there might be some instant speed disenchant. Okay, that works, I guess. Okay. Oh, that was good. So what I could do is play this, attack, and draw a card. Then I can okay, I was hoping to draw 2-drop, but now I'm waiting on the Air Cult Elemental to, yeah, I got to draw a card, which is nice, but also I want to bounce something big. Right now my opponent has very cheap cards, and this card is not good to bounce. Okay, my opponent gets to draw some cards. Maybe get it back later. Land. Okay, what's this? Okay, so that means my opponent gets to the second step. And this is getting a little bit more threatening. Okay, so now I have some choice. I can play the Air Cult Elemental, bounce something, maybe like the token. I could also make this unblockable and get that value. And then I can also play a Dungeon Crawler. I could also then, if I do this, I can also do this. So let's actually, I think I like that. Now I get to drain, I get to scry. I think that card is probably fine because it's kind of nice with that thing. It also means next turn I can go Air Cult Elemental plus the -2/-0. Now this is the turn, this is the big turn where I have to fade a very big play. Now that's good, but I don't think that's gonna beat me. It is pretty nice against this, I guess. Okay, so now we're attacking, huh? I guess this card is pretty threatening with that too. Okay, so I guess I put a counter on that, yeah. Play a land, and let's start by attacking. Get this while the getting is good. Now I get to, oh, I got that, that's nice. I think that's keepable. Now I'm gonna cast this and bounce the tapper, because the tapper stops the ability next turn. Yep. Okay, I think that is oh, this is such a good ability with that. Let's just block like that, I think. Okay. Put the counter here just to make it more safe. So I have 9 mana. Just do this. Yes. Yeah, Charms Lucy is fine. Can deal with the tapper. Now you play this. And this. And then I have Shocking Grasp ready. And at some point I may start activating this too. But not now. Alright, this is still 6 mana, yeah. Put it here, I think. So now let's start by going to combat. I want has to tap something. Okay. Let's attack. Make this unblockable. Now I get to choose a dungeon. It's gonna be something pretty safe. I think I like this because it makes me a token next turn. That goes on the bottom. And then can just pass here. Could have Charm Sleep maybe. Actually I should have done that, I think. But I kind of wanted to draw a card. The thing is, this card doesn't even do that much right now, in the sense that if my opponent taps this, I attack with this. If my opponent taps this, I attack with this. So, but I might have to tap this at some point to see what kind of dungeon progress. Okay, that's a weird choice, but I guess. That's 7 mana. It's actually funny, if I hit 20, I don't get the trigger from the wizard class, which is kind of funny. Okay. Okay, so I did get that. Just gonna play a little safe and put counters on most of my things. Go to combat. Interesting. My opponent said, oops, okay. Let's see here. Where is my dungeon? There. I'm gonna make a 1/1, like board presence here. Alright, so how do I lose this game? Sweeper maybe. So I kind of want to chill on the blue dragon. Let's just cast Charm Sleep here. And hold open Shocking Grasp. This also gives me this in reserve if my opponent has a sweeper. I don't really see how else I lose this game. Maybe some Mythic Bomb, 9 mana. Alright, nice. So I went 3-0. Didn't expect that with this deck. This deck looked kind of bad. Alright, thank you for watching this drafto.